Welcome to Fairytale Access, where the head fairy's quest is to prove that fairy tales do exist in actual time rather than once upon a time. Together, we will unravel the heroes, young and old, who turn dreams into reality. These are the people who still believe in happily ever after. The discoveries will bend even our most cynical non-believers into believing in fairy tales.
Hi, welcome to Fairytale Access. My name is Ariana Perez, and I am filling in for Head Fairy. I am so excited to introduce to you today our guest, Miss Massachusetts Teen USA 2016. Hi.
Hi, my name is Alexis Frasca. I'm Miss Massachusetts Teen USA 2016, and I'm from Franklin, Massachusetts.
Congratulations on winning the title.
Thank you so much.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was my first time ever doing a pageant, so it was a completely new experience, but I'm having the time of my life already in the few weeks that I've been crowned, so I can't wait for the rest of my reign.
How did you find out about the pageant?
I was actually at an event in Boston last year, and a pageant affiliate had referred me to do so, and it wasn't something that I had really ever thought of before. And the more I invested into it, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm so happy that I did, because here I am today, and I cannot wait.
What is required of you by the pageant during your year as Miss Massachusetts Teen USA?
So as Miss Massachusetts Teen USA, I travel all around Massachusetts and work with various organizations and charities. Like so far, I have worked with Best Buddies. I have worked with, especially around this holiday season, a lot of organizations that give gifts to children during the holiday season, and things like Toys for Tots. So it's been really great.
Are those sort of advantages?
Definitely advantages. It's really making me a better person, and I love meeting new people and working with these organizations closely to better the community and give back to the community.
That's great. How many teens competed for the title?
In the teen division, there are about 40 girls that had competed, and in the Miss division, there are about 50. So in total, there were around 100 girls that had competed in the Miss Massachusetts pageant.
What challenges have you faced?
Well, I mean, pageantry, it wasn't something that I'd ever done before, like I had said, so it was a completely new experience, and I had to adapt to being on stage and being in a bathing suit on stage and an evening gown. But it was such a confidence boost, and it was really empowering, so it's definitely a positive challenge.
Were you always so confident?
It took a while. I had to really believe in myself and find out who I am as a person to discover who I can project to be and whatnot. So I wasn't always as confident, but doing this definitely helped that, and being on stage in front of people, talking in front of people, it really helped me find out who I am as a person.
What do you do to prepare yourself for competitions?
Well, for me, I actually hadn't had a lot of formal training. Some of the girls had had coaches and they had done this before, so it was completely new to me. And I really just walked down the hallway of my house and looked in a mirror and tried to figure it out. But I went in there and just did me. I took advice from what the people had told me before the pageant, and I just went in there and was myself, so.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Have you done similar competitions before?
I haven't done anything similar to a pageant, but I have been modeling in Boston since I was about 13, and so that has kind of helped me to assimilate into the pageant world with their similar kind of qualities. So that's about it.
What is an important thing to keep in mind when competing in a pageant?
Definitely be yourself. you can't try and think about the other girls because you only have control over yourself. You can't control what other people do. You can't control the energy that people have. So you can only control yourself. So being yourself is the key to success.
How has this experience been for you?
It has been nothing short of incredible so far. And in just these few weeks, being able to travel around and meet all these new people, especially working with little kids, it's been great.
I've also read you were a model. Who did you sign with?
I'm signed with Maggie Inc. in Boston, and I've worked with various kind of ad campaigns and done even some editorial stuff. One of my favorite shoots, we had these headpieces, and it was in a Canadian magazine. And then also, I've worked with Reebok and Brookstone, which I have a funny story. I went to the mall not too long ago, and they were putting out boxes in the store Brookstone. And I look, and sure enough, I was on the box. And so it was just kind of funny to see and talk to the workers, too, that were there, because they were putting out the boxes like, oh, that's me.
That must feel really, amazing.
It's really fun. I love modeling, and I love being able to tell a story through facial body expressions. It's really fun.
When did you start modeling?
I was about 13 when I started modeling, so I was on the younger spectrum, and I had done some toy boxes and things where I was younger to, be a younger kind of model.
What kind of modeling have you done?
I've done, like I said, ad campaigns and various print work and things along those lines. So.
Have you been able to focus on both competition, school, and your modeling career at the same time?
Yes, it's been very tough, especially because I'm a high school senior, so I have college applications, portfolios, and so many things coming up that it's been tough to balance, but I'm making it work and really working on my time management to better myself. So it's all good things.
What college do you plan on going on to next year?
My top school right now is the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York because I want to study fashion design, and it's in the fashion capital of the United States and not too far from home, which I know Mom and Dad are more pleased with. So definitely that, and it's a great school. I toured it over the summer, and it was everything that I wanted a school to be.
That's a really big step. What do you plan? Are you involved in any school activities now?
Yes, I cheer for my high school team. I am the cheerleading captain, and on top of that, I'm a member of the music production club we have at school, as well as the creative writing and literary magazine club that we have, and in that I'm a leader where we kind of look at stories that people write and we choose what we want to go into the magazine, as well as write our own stories. And being a leader too, I also work with the website and manage the social media portion of it, so kind of the tech part.
Do you take any multimedia classes?
I do. I'm actually a member of my arts program at my school, so all of my classes are art-based, and it's called the Franklin Arts Academy. So rather than having a project with just a normal project, normal classes, all of my projects will be kind of art catered towards art. So a lot of multimedia stuff. My favorite is video work. So when we get a project, I always go for the video kind of aspect because I like to edit and even star in some of my own videos. So.
Me too. I take multimedia classes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. What types of art do you enjoy?
I really enjoy film and visual art. I'm really into sketching, and that's part of the reason why I want to apply for fashion design, because I love to sketch different clothing and even just everyday things, like just regular sketching, and music as well. I like the idea of music and kind of producing it too. So.
I read you would like to travel the world and explore new places. What are some of your places?
I want to travel everywhere. I really, really would like to make my way over to California for my next trip. because I haven't been there, and that's part of the United States, so it's definitely something that I need to see. But outside of that, I would love to go to Italy and places that are just very tropical and lush, and I would really like to go to New Zealand and even some places like Tokyo, just all over the place, because I want to kind of enrich my life and really learn about different people and different parts of the world. So I would like to make a point to stop in all sorts of places.
Do you have any adventurous hobbies?
I love adventure, and I love when I am able to travel and go different places. Just a few years ago, I went to Mexico for the second time, and that was incredible. And one of my favorite things that we did, we went ziplining in the Mexican jungle, which was incredible. And you're among all these like lush green plants and trees, and you're just going through, and it's a rush. So that was incredible. And then on top of that, we went and we got to zip line into a cenote, which is a sinkhole. So it's this big natural pool of water that it's just pristine, and it's so well kept and preserved, and it was beautiful.
That sounds so fun.
It was so much fun.
Do you enjoy literacy?
I do. I really enjoy writing my own stories, specifically short stories. I took a creative writing class last year, and I've always been drawn to creative writing, but it really helped me kind of further pursue that, and that's also why I joined the creative writing and literary magazine club that's at my school. So when I write short stories, I like to kind of manipulate reality, and I always tend to add a dark twist to the end of my stories to kind of create that plot twist and that change of reality.
What is your favorite book of all time?
My favorite book of all time is Looking for Alaska by John Green, because it's a coming-of-age story that deals with teenagers, but also with very adult topics. So I'm always very drawn towards the idea of coming-of-age things, especially in books and even in films. And it's a great, great story of teenagers finding themselves and dealing with things that are a part of life.
Do you have any advice you would like to give others who may not have considered trying a pageant?
Try a pageant. It's such an empowerment to be on stage in a bathing suit with this music and this energy that's coming from all around you, and you kind of feed off of the crowd, and it's so incredible. But if that is not part of your plan, then just believe in yourself, and don't ever believe that you are not good enough and that yourself is not something that is good enough. So confidence.
Well, thank you for joining us, Alexis. We wish you the absolute best in your future and the Miss America Teen USA pageant. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Tutor Teddy. You may want to check into them for free homework help in college math. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, our families, the Student Prince, Focus Springfield, and DMVC Productions. Until next time, keep asking questions. Welcome back. So, can you tell me about the process of being in a pageant?
Yes, so the very beginning, you go and you interview with someone who is a part of the pageant. So this is probably back in February that I had gone and I had met and signed some paperwork to make sure that I was ready and in place. And they kind of ask you and make sure that you're doing the pageant for the right reasons and you're not doing it for something kind of not right. And so after that, you go to an orientation, and this is the week before the pageant, and from there they tell you how to walk. They give you kind of the stage instruction. They had a little stage where you could practice, and there you meet all of the girls competing in either the teen or the miss. And after that, you prepare for interview, swimsuit. They give you all sorts of tips to kind of help you with the whole process of the pageant, which happens the next week. So fast forward to the next week, and you have you stay in a hotel with when you have a roommate, and you have Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday is the first preliminary competition where you compete evening gown, swimwear, and you have an opening number and you kind of introduce yourself. So after that happens, Sunday morning is an interview, and they ask you questions about yourself, and it's all about yourself. It's not, for the teen portion, it wasn't really regarding politics or any sort of things like that. So after interview, you compete Sunday night again. You go in your opening number, and they narrow it down to the top 15. From there, you compete in evening gown, swimwear again, and that's only the top 15. And then from there, they narrow it down even further to the top 5, where you answer an on-stage question. And then after that, they choose their winner.
Are you excited about doing it?
I was really excited. It was so much fun, and just meeting all the girls and being around such positivity was an experience that I'm going to remember forever.
We have a few questions from the audience for Alexis.
So Alexis, they used to call these beauty pageants, but now they've kind of dropped the beauty from the title, and they've really seemed to emphasize more the talent and skills and interests of it. Do you think that beauty still has a place in this? I mean, they still have swimsuit competition, gown competition. Do you think there's still a place for that in this type of competition?
Well, I think the word beauty is subjective in a way, because beauty is immeasurable. And I think that there's a beauty to multiple things, and confidence is really a key part in pageantry. And it's not necessarily who is the most, visually appealing necessarily. It's more about the person that you are, and the interview is such a huge portion in this, and it's your stage presence over what you look like and how you work the stage. And if you're comfortable in your own skin, that's the key to being this whole package. So I think beauty is a part of it, but the definition has been misconstrued in a few different ways. So beauty prior, maybe it was just based on looks, but beauty in 2015, I think, is based on so much more than that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alexis, would you consider yourself to be a role model for other young women?
Yes, being Miss Massachusetts Teen USA and a public figure, I represent the state of Massachusetts. So I think it's really important for me to be able to convey things that for other young women and such. I think it's important for me to advocate for the empowerment of young women and kind of help them find their confidence, and hopefully then they can look up to me and look to me to help them and guide them through things like that, and just be an overall positive person that can represent Massachusetts well and positively.
Could you tell us a little bit about your platform?
I really want to advocate for girl power and feminism and all the things surrounding those elements. Having this title, I would really like to utilize social media and help other girls find themselves through such, because social media is so powerful and we have so much of it. We're constantly on our phones and on the internet, so I think using that to send a message out will really be my platform during my reign.
So you're in the process of filling out applications to go to college. Do you think your experience in the pageant has helped you with your college application and the interview process especially?
Definitely. That's actually one of the reasons that I had thought about entering the pageant, was to just help assimilate myself into college and being away from home and just being independent. And I thought that it would really help with that, and it has. So with my application process, I think using what I've learned from entering a pageant and being Miss Massachusetts Teen USA, I'll really be able to help to do well next year, and my applications will be more about myself and just kind of fusing those two together.
And when you start to design and sketch clothing, what kind of clothing do you want to design? Is it formal? Is it casual? Is it a mix of all the above?
I really would like to study and learn about swimwear. I think designing swimwear would be really interesting because I want to combine the city and the tropical life and kind of blend them together because I love both of those things, but they don't necessarily mesh all too well because, you know, you have skyscrapers and palm trees. If I can bring those two together, I think it would be really, really cool.
Thank you.
In the multimedia field with public speaking and communications, what do you find that young people your age are struggling with?
I find them to be struggling with trying to say the right thing. People, I think, especially with public speaking, try to cater to what others want to hear rather than what they really believe. So speaking from the heart is definitely something that should be done, and rather than speaking for what someone may want to hear.
What about tips for when you're emailing correspondence to get that interview or to get the job interview? Should they just whip it off like they would to their friends? Should they use a salutation and a paragraph or two about themselves?
For me, I would stay professional and speak well, but don't be someone else. Be yourself, but be professional in the same way. So kind of a happy medium and a combination between the two will definitely help to help the case.
That's true. And what about yourself, Ariana? What did you find hardest about getting ready for a show in pre-production?
I think that just preparing in general, like, you would need to practice and practice over and over, and you would just need to memorize things.
So is being a host different from being behind the scenes?
Yes, very different.
Really?
It's really nerve-wracking.
Do you think you'll like it?
Yeah.
So we'll be able to see more of your...
Yes.
And Alexis, what are you moving on to next?
So,
what events do you have set up for us this year?
I have multiple charity events that are coming up throughout these few months, and then the big competition will be Miss Teen USA, and that will be sometime during the summer. We haven't received the date yet, but I'm very excited for that and all that's to come during my reign.
Where are they going to have that?
Usually it's in the Bahamas. It's been there for the past 6 years, so I'm hoping that it's still there. But because they're under new management with the whole Trump situation, because Trump used to be part of the Miss Universe organization, they are pushing for it to be televised. It used to be televised, but it stopped for a while. So perhaps it'll be somewhere else, but be on TV. So we don't really know yet. We're just waiting to hear that.
Well, you have a lot of experience in front of the camera, so I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thank you.
But we absolutely wish you the very best of luck, and we appreciate your time coming down today.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any words of wisdom for any girls going into the pageant?
Be yourself. I've said it many times, and it's pretty cliche, but it works. And you can only be yourself.
And did you find the other girls friendly, or was there a lot of competition?
The other girls were so friendly, and they were so welcoming, and the ones who had done it years before, and even the new girls, we all just kind of collaborated together to help each other out. We were in the dressing room zipping each other's dresses. We were giving each other some lip gloss. It was such a nice environment, and I'm so happy that I got to be a part of it.
That's great.
Thank you for joining us, Alexis. We wish you the absolute best in your future and the Miss America Teen USA pageant. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Tutor Teddy. Until next time, keep asking questions.